Howdy, howdy, everybody. Can we get an audio check from y'all? Are we coming in loud and proud? Speak up. We got Lefty, my main man, in here today.
What's up, fellas?
Lefty's got his good hat on, so evidently they see us.
My everyday hat.
Oh yeah, you're always rocking that Justin camo hat.
I got about 3 of them.
It ain't the same one. Here, you tell it. Might need to do a smell check on that thing.
Well, I guarantee you the other one you can smell it.
How's everybody doing, folks? Who all we got in there?
Jason, how's it going?
Looks like we got who all we got in the chat. Barlow Brigade on the moderating duties. Jason, Ozarks boy. We got Mario in here. Greg Wilmoth. Howdy, howdy, buddy. How's everybody doing this evening? We thank y'all for dropping in. Not my regular time for my lives, but wanted to get this guy on with me. And he is just ate up on weekends with grandkids, and
it's busy.
Works Monday through Friday, and weekends are kind of it's go time with the grandkids and all that. So we're coming Tuesday night. Hope y'all don't mind that. But we're gonna do a little talking about some of our favorite deer hunting tools here, some of our favorite deer knives, some that we've used many times before. I got a couple, and I think he's got a couple that we hope to use in the future. But we're just going to go through it and have a good time. And the old Barlow Queen, you never know. She may pop in here and make a cameo. But I'm going to let Lefty, let the guests take the floor on the first one.
All right. I do have a couple of them here that I have used quite a bit. And I'll just start off with the one I probably have used the most. And this is a Walther's. Let me find this camera.
It's fun. It's backwards. I hate it.
See that name there. If you know Walther's, you know they're a firearm manufacturer. They do have a line of knives, and this one I picked up this knife probably in probably the early 2000s. You can see it's got a nylon sheath, and it's still in good shape to be as old as it is. I don't wear it. I usually carry it in my bag because I just don't like one this big. But getting this guy out, you can see right off, this is a Skinner. And that model number is WAL1044. And I don't know if I'll get that to, you can see that there. You can see it is made in Taiwan. But I tell you what, this is a really good knife. Like I say, this knife, I know it's 20 years old. And I can't tell you how many deer I've cleaned with this thing. See the two-tone handle there? You got wood. And it goes back to a hard rubber, which is really, really grippy.
Especially when it gets wet. I bet that excels when it gets wet.
Right, it does. And that's one thing that I liked about it. Actually, me and my dad both bought one of these knives at the same time. And my dad, he's one of them. You talking about somebody can't leave nothing alone. But he took the handle off and put a deer horn handle on his. And he tried to get mine, and I was like, no, it's just, I like that handle. It feels too good. So, but anyway, going back to the blade, you see it's got a gut hook on it. Love-hate relationship with a gut hook, but it's big old skinny blade. And I tell you what, it is a hollow grind. And this thing will take an edge and it will stay sharp. 440 stainless. So, yeah, it's just a really good knife. And I've sharpened this thing before and went through 2 or 3 deer before I've had to sharpen it again. Wow. So, yeah, but it does a really good job. Like I say, I'll probably use this more than any skinning knife I've got. So,
a Walther. That was not what I thought you would say you use the most. It's your number one. That even surprises me.
It is. And I don't know. This knife was probably, when I bought it new, around $30. I don't even know if they're even available anymore. I know you can still get them on eBay on the secondary market, but I don't know if they're available anymore. I did look last night. I didn't find any on some of my sites that I use. But anyway, yeah, it's well cheapo, but tell you what, it gets the job done.
And y'all don't see what I'm pointing at. I sure thought it was going to be that one. Is that a close second? Or is that?
It is.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. We're going to kind of do that. I'm going to do the ones I have used, and I got two at the end that I haven't used, but I want to use. So I'm going to go to my numero uno, and it is also nothing special on the sheath, just an old nylon sheath. But this is the case Ridgeback. And I have probably cleaned, this has probably cleaned the most of my deer in my life. I started out deer hunting back in Florida, and which is kind of funny. I never killed a deer in Florida. We had some public use area. You had to go by boat down a river. You had to drive like 8 miles, get out of a boat, and walk into this public use area. Now, we killed some hogs down there. I've seen a hog or two, but I've still never killed a deer in Florida all my time down there. My first deer, they started taking me to Georgia. We had some relatives in Georgia. It was my first marriage. I have been remarried, if you didn't know that. But her kin people had land in Georgia, and that is where I first put this thing to work on a whitetail. It's where I killed my first deer. My first deer still, it's in there in the living room. Ain't nothing special. Little 8-point buck that now I probably would have never pulled the trigger on, but I mean, I thought it was the biggest thing in the world. You know, oh man, my first deer is going to be a buck. You know, you couldn't tell me nothing. So it's in there on the wall. Shouldn't be, but I guess, you know, it's one of those things. It's your first one. So I was excited.
I'd be proud of it.
Stay
proud, man.
I was super proud of it, but this is the first deer I put that one to work on. And if you can see, if I can hold it right, has some nice jimping right up here on your thumb. And it has jimping right down here at the finger. Man, I got to figure out this thing.
Yeah, that camera's kind of difficult.
It's backwards. I'm so used to, you know, it's backwards. I'll figure it out by, you know, maybe live 100. But it has some nice finger jimping up here, so you can get up here inside. Not to be too gross, those entrails. Most of you people tuned into this are probably my hunting family, but it has a nice finger jimping up here. So when you're inside there, you got to go in there and make that cut up there, cut the trachea, cut that off inside there. It is just wonderful. And this one kind of has it's also a real hard plastic, but when it gets wet or bloody and gutty, that stuff, I'll probably get removed for saying that now. But when it gets moist, wink, wink, it excels. It is so good. Has a nice finger choil right here. This thing is just nimble, not too big, not too small, but that's what it looks like. I can get a tank stamp in there. Case, I don't know what year that is.
I think you got it right there.
What year is that? That long tail C, is that 90s?
Oh, man. Got me.
90s are
stars on it, so it's got to be 90s.
Somebody tell me in the comments. But yeah, it's got 5 X's and 1 dot. So, and I think that's the 90s. Doesn't matter. But that is my go-to, the Case Ridgeback. Love it, love it, love it. Night, it's light. And there is nicer models. They got one of these in micarta. And I think the top line, there's one like rosewood too.
I think so.
This is the cheapo depot. You can get these for like $50, depending on where you buy it, $50 or $60. And if you go up into the micartas and that rosewood, you can get up there around $100, $110. But I actually prefer, and I felt some of them in stores, I actually prefer this old hard rubber for getting it done. It just, it excels when you get your hands in there, greasy, and you know, that's when this thing shines. But The
And I actually have one of those that was given to me by AW. And
yeah,
so I'm looking forward to using one of them too. I don't know. I don't have a 5 tag of the year, so I don't know how we're going to use all these knives on deer.
you're going to fall in love. I'm telling you now, you better not do it. Not if you want to keep using that Walther.
Well, the Walther, I don't think it cleaned deer at all last year.
Is it ready to be retired?
Yeah, it's done its due.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I'm sure this was probably the one that HT would say that I had used the most.
I thought that'd be it.
This is by far my very favorite fixed blade. This is the Old Timer 152 OT.
Which I'm late to the game. Shamefully, he's late to the game on this case Ridgeback, and I'm pretty late to the game on the Sharpfinger.
Yeah,
but
this has been a. You know, the thing about it though is I haven't had one of these for a long time. I mean, when I was a kid, I saw them and just loved them. My uncle had one of these things, and seeing him use it, it's just classic. It's classic old timer. And talking about the one my uncle had, he had one identical to this. He was a machinist, and he took on the back side of this, he double edged it. He cut an edge into a real edge, not a swedge or a false edge, but a real edge.
like on that last inch up there, or all the way.
Right, probably the last inch right there, and you could turn that thing over like that, and man, you talking about make cuts. But
and it's sharp as a scalpel already. If y'all ain't, most of y'all know this, you ain't late to the game like I am.
They are very, very thin behind the edge, and
Ridiculously.
It's just an iconic knife. I mean, I think this was actually the same knife that my granddad had.
I've known about them. It ain't like it wasn't on my lexicon. I've known about them, but I just never I got 2 of them now. One old one and one new one.
Let me get you a look at that tang stamp if I can get that to come in.
There you go.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if it's clear or not.
Anyway,
that's the Schrade USA, and all of them that I know of come with a lanyard hole. And I think these even came originally. They came with a piece of leather in them, just a tied piece of leather. You know, just nothing fancy. But recognize that?
It looks familiar. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I think I saw some of my buddy HT done them. I believe. Nice little toasted bead there.
Come on.
Yep, this is my favorite right here, and I have skinned a few deer with it, but hey, y'all take a look at this sheep. Ain't that nice? Left hand sheep at that, custom. Look at that maker mark.
Charlie
Cook.
Yep.
Fine leather worker in the community right there, and good guy on top of it.
That's right.
So,
I would have swore that was your number one.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
it's your favorite. I was right. It's your favorite.
It is my favorite fixed blade. If I'm gonna carry a fixed blade, it's gonna be something, probably one of these or something similar to this. Not much bigger than that anyway. So,
all right, my next one, and I kind of just for looks brought out this one because it's a little fancier pants for you guys. I've got an old one in there, but this is my pro. This is the 102 Woodsman. And this is a newer one. I have not got this one in the field yet, but I have skinned right many deer with its older brother, the old black phenolic handle. You know, the buck. You know, you guys know those old black cue ball black buck handles. But this one is the Pro Series. Got the green micarta. It's got the I think S35VN steel, but don't focus on, all that. It focus on the knife, the silhouette. This is this is the 102 Woodsman, and this thing is another clean and dream. Has a nice little choke up finger choil right here where you can get up in there. Wouldn't take long. It wouldn't take much to make a mod there,
No.
But the only thing
pretty good.
Yeah, the only thing I'd change about this is maybe put a little finger jimping up here, but this thing is nimble. It's light. This is the Buck 102 or the Woodsman, and it is probably my second most used on whitetail deer. Again, not this particular one, but the old faithful 420 HC. Everybody hates on that. I can tell you this: I got some more 420 HC up here, and they do just fine for me. I don't know. I've never been good enough to have to clean 4, 5, 6 in a row, but I've killed a few doubles in my day, and I didn't have to sharpen between. So if you don't have to, put a new edge on your knife, right in the middle of cleaning the deer, I call that a win. Yeah. If I can get through my deer or my 2 deer, if those chances I get lucky, I'm good. If I come home, I expect to come home, clean my knife, and put a new edge on it. So this one, like I say, this one has a little fancier pants steel on it. They say that there. S30V, well, that's the Buck USA. Probably over here. Boss S30V. I think is it S30V or S35? This is actually S35VN. But little upgrade on blade edge retention. And I don't know, maybe a little more stainless. But again, I've never had no problem with 420 as far as stainless either.
I think a blade steel is just it's a preference. To be honest with you, I don't want a super hard steel. I mean, my favorite steel is probably what's in this right here, and that's probably 1095. The 440s are soft stainless, and I kind of like that. I'm pretty much going to touch an edge up after every use anyway. So, like I said, it's just preference. I mean, whatever you like,
I mean,
some people don't like sharpening out, so. And I get that. So,
like he said earlier, we only got 5 tags here in Arkansas, and I ain't never killed more than 2 at one time. And pretty much anything I got here on the table, if it was good and sharp going into it, if I'd done my job and it was keen going into it, it would do 2 if I needed to. So there's that. But anyway, my number 2 would be the 102 Woodsman.
I see Barn Door Blaze. He's agreeing with us on that 1095 and the Buck steels there. So
22 people in here. Thank you guys for that.
Yeah, the next one, and this is a pretty special knife to me. This one actually belonged to my dad. And like I said, you talking about somebody that couldn't leave enough alone. That was him, man. He modified everything he put his hands on. This is let me get this number right before I tell y'all. This is a Buck 679. Now, if you've ever seen this knife, you know it's supposed to have a black plastic handle on it. Well, like I said, he don't leave nothing alone. He handled knives anyway, rehandled them and built handles for knives. He bought blade blanks to put handles on them and stuff. So I don't know what he didn't like about that handle, but he reworked it, and he also made the sheath. You can see his initials right there, RS. But he also well, this camera's killing me. Did the handiwork on the.
At least it ain't just me
on the sheath. But he made it for himself, so it wasn't a whole lot of time went into that. But this knife right here, like I said, it's pretty special because it belonged to my dad. And this one and this Walther's. They were kind of changed in and out. If I cleaned the deer with Walther's, I went to this next. And so if I can get that up there, and it's pretty much the same blade geometry as the Walther's. Not quite a big I don't know what you call it, bow in that blade, or a skinning blade, I guess, but still got the gut hook. And I really don't know where he got this knife, to be honest with you, because I looked at the tang stamp on it, and if I looked at that right, this is a 2013. My dad passed away in December of 2013. So maybe he bought it first of the year and done his work on it before his hunting season came around or whatever. I don't know, but
probably plan to use it that year coming up.
But anyway, apparently he didn't like the grind on that gut hook either, because he done a number on it. But anyway, and this is of course this is Buck, so we know this one's gonna hold an edge.
Hallowed ground.
Yeah. So But this is a really good skinning knife. And believe it or not, the handle's pretty comfortable.
That is. He rounded it out. Yeah, if y'all can see, kind of got some nice swells in there. Got kind of some shoulders right there on it. It's got a little bit of a finger choil. It don't make you.
Right.
It's neutral, but it shows you where your index should go. I like it. Pretty too. Good looking wood.
It's just something that I'm sure that's just something he had laying around and just threw it together. But like I say, this is
Awesome.
he used to clean deer with, and I have cleaned several myself with it. But also got some jimping on the back. It's not real aggressive, but does have some there. So
now it's an heirloom.
It is an heirloom. So
that's pretty awesome.
I do still use it on occasion and still carry it. So.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of a drop point. I like my skinning knives to have a belly, kind of like me. Why was that funny? But that Sharpfinger.
What's the name of the show?
Hefty and Lefty. You shut up, Hefty. I'm Lefty. Anyway, I like mine to have a little belly. That's why probably I never went with a Sharpfinger, because it is very acute. But I'm a drop point guy. I'm always scared of poking those guts. And you deer hunters know when you do that, the rest of that job is going to be stinky and got a chance of spoiling meat and all that. So that's all personal preference. But I think this next one, everybody's going to know. And you might could make an argument this thing is, at least for a folding knife, probably clean more deer than anything else in the United States. And it needs no introduction. You guys know what this one is. And again, I prefer the drop point. So this is a drop point blade on the good old 10 here, but nice hollow ground. I don't think this one. Yeah, I don't think this is any fancy steel here. This is probably just standard house steel, 420, which they run at 58 Rockwell, by the way. That's not super soft. I mean, compared to some of your, 440As, 440Bs, Case True Sharp, which is I'm sure is on my number one here, my Ridge line. That's usually like 55, 56 Rockwell. These are 58. So anyway, I'm not going to get in one of those defending buck steel. But like I said, if it gets me through my deer and I don't have to stop midstream and, hack on it and sharpen on it, it's fine for me, because I'm going to take it home, wash it, clean it, and touch it up anyway. But the Buck 110 drop point, it's just an old faithful. I could grab one of these. I've got a couple, 2 or 3 of these in my collection. So if I just want to do something different, I can always grab old drop point 110 and go at it. They feel great. Only thing about it, why it's probably not my number one, there's nothing from the business end I don't love about this, would be weight. They are heavy. I mean, this is like a 7-ounce, 7.2, something like that, knife. And by the end, especially like 2 deer, if I was one of those things where I got lucky and I'm cleaning 2 of them, or I went hunting with somebody and we've got 2, 3, that we got to clean, this will get a little heavy. But so that's probably why it's not my go-to. But I have cleaned some with it, actually many with it, and would do it again. Love them. And it's probably, like I said, for a folding knife, it may have cleaned anything. And it's especially for North America. I don't have the numbers to prove it, but if this ain't number one on folding knives, it's top 5. That I'll stand on, because that has put a lot of whitetail deer in the freezer right there. The Buck 110.
Kind of like the 30-30 of knives.
There you go.
Yeah. I got one more that I have used in the past, and this is also one that belonged to my dad. And y'all probably say, "Man, did you get your whole knife collection from your dad?" Well, I got quite a bit of it from him. So, but anyway, like we were both collectors, so anyway, I did pick up a few from him. But that is this Camillus 26 Folding Hunter, and I got this thing open because I'm telling you what. This skinning blade right here has got some snap. It's got some pull on it. And so,
can we like have a moment of silence for that or something? Seems like we should for Camillus number 26, Folding Hunter.
Yeah.
Just messing with you. Ain't that a beauty?
It is. And look how thick this thing is. And it's not bone, it's Delrin. Look how thick the Delrin is. And it is, God, it's a handful. Feels so good in the hand, but let me go ahead and get this skinning blade out of the way.
If that ever comes down, buddy, it's
because when it's folded up, it is hard for me to get out of there.
They got some.
Wow.
If his finger was there, we would be pausing this video. Shell 911.
Yeah. So, but. You know, your typical folding hunter here. Got a big clip point blade, flat grind. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm chasing this camera all night.
Glad it ain't just me.
So, but yeah, so, and like I said, this was one of my dad's, and this was actually a knife when he went hunting the past couple of years, or the last couple of years that he hunted. This was a knife that he had on him when he went to the woods. So
I know that's special.
Very, very sentimental. And on top of that, it's a heck of a knife.
So all you Delrin or Stagallon haters in there, that's as good as they get. I'm a Stagallon lover, and they broke the mold on that one. That is the good stuff.
Well, you know, and I probably opened a can of worms right here. There's two manufacturers that done Delrin really, really well. That was Schrade and Camillus.
Yes.
Camillus and Schrade done Delrin really well.
That's beautiful there.
Let's see if I can get that up over.
Look at that.
Closer look at it.
Now, if you had some real stag with that kind of character on there, boy, you'd have something for sure, wouldn't you?
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with that right there.
A pretty color, you know. And like I said, man, it's so thick. Look at that. Yeah. But this is one that I'll probably use on occasion. Last year was the first year I had this, and I did clean a couple of deer with it last year. So, yeah.
Dad's too. That even makes it better. I looked up there a while ago. I'm going to mess you up. We had 32 people in here. We got 20. Well, back to 32. Guess they went and got them a drink, came back. 32 people in here. Thank you so much. Look at all that. We got Jeff Jackson, Greg Wilmoth, Mark Gallagher, Stan. Shout out to Stan. Dave, Oxyfeed. Man, thank you guys. Oh, yeah, Ezra. That's my dude right there.
And there's Gary Whitaker. Newcomers to the community. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Letting us make a fool of ourselves and try to find out where to put a knife. And it's crazy too, because we're both used to standing in front, but it's totally different. We're both,
I don't know.
A tripod's always looking right back at us, but this is different. I'm telling you. So I don't know. I guess it's a computer versus difference in, because there's my computer, there's my thing when I'm doing videos normally, but we're on this crazy laptop. Anyway, moving right along, and I'm gonna follow suit with him. He talked about Camillus. Well, here's some Schrade. In this case, old timer and some good old carbon steel. Come on, this is a classic right here, folks. Yes, sir.
What is not to like about an old timer?
Look at that. Look at those teeners, scratches on there. Yes, sir. This is the 25 OT. If you guys don't know, and that is a deer cleaning. Backup knife. If you were going to go camping, this would be a good companion knife. I would always, if I'm going camping, I'm gonna have a pretty durable fixed blade. Sorry, I'm coming up your face. I ain't trying to do that. But anyway, the 25 OT, got the old saw cut Delrin there. And as I cover up your face again, I don't know if we'll get in there. You guys know, everybody that's on here knows the old Timer saw cut, the old brown saw cut Delrin. It's just classic carbon steel. This one's all scratched up and beat halfway to death, but man, that thing's got another 40 years in my opinion, Dwayne.
A lot of life left.
And of course, if you watch my channel, I'm not going to go over the blades of a folding hunter. You got your Skinner blade, you got your clip point blade here. Of course, I would fold this little guy right down, pull that out right there, and there's my drop point / Skinner blade, and that thing will go right up your whitetail and zip them, unzipper them, and lay them right open. But just a fantastic knife. Tried and true. I don't know what this tank stamp is on this one. This is probably, because this one doesn't say Schrade, New York. This is probably the old 74. What is it? 74 through.
Shoot, I can't remember how it goes.
It's a big old broad.
It's a long range.
This is probably a 70s or 80s something there. Schrade's got one of them real long time frames, but yeah, this is probably a 35 to 45-year-old knife. I can say that pretty confidently. And it's beat up, it's scarred, but I love it. I still carry it. Listen to that. So, yeah. 25 OT, baby. None mo better. Love it, love it, love it. And yes, I have. This is my last one of mine that I have actually cleaned deer with. I got 2 coming up that I want to try. So the first 4 I'm speaking about something I know about. I've put them on deer. These last 2 are up and comers, ones that I want to try. So
yeah, same here. These next 2 are some that I hope to get to use on a deer. And this next one right here is a Schrade. This is not the original sheath. This was actually a gift. This knife was a gift from Chuck, Briar Patch Blades. So
man, I wish he's in here tonight.
Yeah, I do too.
Miss you, Chuck.
But this is the Schrade PH2, the Pro Hunter 2. Sometimes called the Mini Pro Hunter.
I like that. Look at that drop one. That's right up my speed right there.
I love a drop one blade.
That's a good getter.
Man, this thing is it's really nice. And this is a really small knife. I think this blade is actually less than 3 inches, maybe 2 7/8 or somewhere around in there.
I see Oxy Fee seconds it down there. Yeah, I miss Chuck too.
Yeah.
I still talk to him. He's still around. He's doing well. I won't get into his family business, but he's had some sickness, some stuff. He's taking care of business, but he's still around.
We hope to see him back sometime.
100%.
Yeah. But like I said, this was a gift from Chuck. And like I said, when I got this knife, it was very obvious that this was something he cared a lot about. Because this is all original. This is why he sent it with the leather lanyard and bead and everything. So, but this has got my car handle, like my car, and brass guard. It is full time.
I feel like that would be right. Yeah,
this
just looks right.
A really good skinning knife.
That just looks right.
It's just that drop point blade, short drop point blade there. Yeah, easy to control.
Yep.
So, man, and I think he done some mods on this handle. I think it's supposed to be just a little bit thicker than what it is, but you can see it's got a little swells right here, and Yeah, this is one I really like right here. And this is a perfect carry knife for me. Perfect size for a fixed blade carry. And I do carry this one on occasion. I don't carry a fixed blade a lot, but when I do, I have carried this quite a few times. And I'll tell you what, one reason it's in this sheath, because the sheath he sent with it was a custom sheath, but it was a, what do you call the horizontal?
Scout carry, like
Scout carry. And it was ambidextrous. It can go on either side, but this one here, I stick it in there, and what do you call the ruler pocket on a pair of overalls, or your plier pocket, or my papa always carried his channel lock pliers in there, but I'll stick this right down in my overalls and in that side pocket, and it fits really well. Not too heavy, don't cause a lot of problems there. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to using this one.
Got a few new ones in here. Chris Geary, Barn Door Blades, Timothy, Grizz Peterson with a big howdy. Ronald Norwood. What do you say, Ronald? Jedi Jim. Got Jedi Jim up there at the top.
Yep.
Man, keep on coming, guys. Awesome. Yeah.
It's good to see everybody in here hanging out with us.
1,000%. Okay. Like I said, full disclosure, these last two, I hadn't cleaned deer with them, but I want to. So I ain't gonna sit here, oh, this is great at this. I don't know, but I got a hankering and I feel like they will. So this, do it like that, is the old Schrade.
That is a Skinner all the way.
497, or it is also called the 49er. And you might see, if I can show this handle there, I have my lights right there. You see how that handle, that pommel looks kind of like a gold nugget? The 49ers, the Gold Rush, and they even scalloped, or whatever you want to call that, nuggeted the pommel on that dude. But man, does this thing feel excellent. I mean, I'm just loosey-goosey on this. Big, fat, big-bellied. I guess you'd call that, actually, you can't call that a drop point. That's more of an upswept Skinner, but it does still. It's got that huge, huge belly on there. Hollow grind. Comes down to about a half-height hollow grind on it. Man, I think this is going to be fantastic. Honestly, maybe a little overkill. This would be good on a nice buck around here. Maybe a little overkill for a typical South Ark special doe, 90-pound, 100-pound doe. But yeah, that is our typical doe around these plays. You get much over, you get 100-pound, you're probably taking that doe around here. She's 2 or 3 years old. She's probably a 3-year-old. But if you get a doe around South Arkansas, that's what, 120, 130. Oh, man, you kill them. You done, yeah, sure. Yeah. Our typical doe around here probably runs 90 to 110. Is that fair? Probably so. One that you'd shoot. They're smaller, but typical. But probably a little. My point is probably a little overkill for a small deer like that. But man, you get you a big 180, 190-pound buck or something or up. That would lay big boy right on open, I believe. Got some wicked cool. Look at that Staggalon.
Yeah, there you go. Schrade.
Camillus and Schrade. Either if you're with me and Dwayne, you're shaking your head yes. If you don't give it, that's fake stag, that's plastic crap, and to each his own. I can tell you this feels good in hand. Cold weather, hot weather, you're not gonna mess up that handle. It is durable as get out. Feels good in hand. I like the stuff. I love the stuff. I'll go that far. Too, right?
Man, just the old Schrade stuff is just.
And there is some stuff out there. There is some stuff out there that's kind of chintzy. Yeah. Everybody don't do this good.
Actually, I think the old Schrade, that Staggalon is where it's at. The new Staggalon that Schrade's putting on their knives, the next gen stuff is I don't know. It's just lacking. It just doesn't measure up to the old stuff.
I ain't sure how old that is. Schrade USA 497. No telling how old this is. What, another 70s, 80s maybe.
That's carbon steel too. Right?
Yeah, it's carbon steel.
It may be, yeah, you're probably right. Early 80s or late 70s.
Late 70s. Carbon steel. And man, with this, and I don't know if I can get that in. Do y'all see that little finger guard up here? It's got the little gold scallops on it too. Can y'all see that? There we go. Kind of like that pommel, the 49er, the gold rush knife or whatever. I don't know. But man, Lord mercy, does that feel good in hand. I want to try this. I want to try it bad. So the Buck, I'm about to say Buck, the Schrade 497, or they call it the 49er. Yeah, that's one I want to try. What you got?
Well, I'm down to my last knife. And this one here, I am really, really excited about. Just a little background on it. I've looked at this knife and looked at this knife.
Is that what I think it is?
It is what you think it is. And, I wanted one of them, but man, I thought, man, them things are expensive. Because I don't buy a lot of expensive knives, but I had to have it. So, yep, you guessed it. It's Buck. This is the 113. And I think this is the ultimate Buck EDC right here. Fixed blade. My opinion. Some people may argue. I do like the 102.
I'm being quiet for a reason. I'll tell them later. You probably already know.
Well, look at this thing.
Oh, mercy. Why'd you have to do this? Why could you just end it on something else?
Best for last, baby. The one I'm most excited about putting in my, I was going to say putting in my pocket, but strapping on my belt.
Look at that drop point, folks. Look at that.
You know what?
High scalloped drop point there. Hollow grind.
Do you see this grind and this drop point? That's what I love about this knife. I mean, yeah, this is like I said, this is my favorite fixed blade. But man, do I love a drop point. A little drop point like this.
No, I'm no better.
And this thing is, like I said, I can't wait.
And the reason I'm in such agony, and I may have to give up my Buck card, my Buck hats and all, I don't own a 113. I do not.
I find that very surprising, to be honest with you.
It's shameful.
And maybe it's just because of the size of it. I don't know.
No,
I'll contribute to that. But, yeah,
I can't give you a good reason. It's a beauty.
Yeah,
y'all don't take my Buck card, please.
We'll let you slide. And this is ebony.
Right.
And you can see it does have a little bit of grain in it. Some of that stuff is really so dark you can't see the grain in, but you see a little of the grain in there. But like I said, I haven't even used it. I don't even know if I've even carried it yet. I've had it a few months.
I gotta stop buying folders and get a 113 in the fold.
And as much as you love the 112,
don't make it work. I know.
A fixed blade 112.
I know. Yeah, and what he's saying, basically the 113 is.
You can put one. We don't have one with us, but I mean, you can put this side by side, and that front bolster and this guard is just almost identical.
It's the 112 bolster, upper bolster.
Yeah, I guess the clip point's probably a little taller on this than it would be on the 112 if you had one with a clip point. I don't even know if you can get one with a clip point.
He's asking what's the steel lefty Barlow Brigade.
I would assume this is the 440 house steel because there's nothing fancy about this. This is the basic 113.
420.
Okay, 420. So this is the basic, and I don't think it says what it is.
If it don't, it's my house.
It is, and like this is your basic 113 right here. So there's nothing special, but it is special.
Yeah, you had to do that, didn't you? Last night, you just one more little jug in the side before you got out of there, huh? I told you he ain't no good. He ain't
listen to how it feels.
Oh, rub it in. Rub it in.
Listen to it. Snaps right in there. I see. You know what? This is a right-hand sheath though. So.
Oh well, yeah. You probably can't use that then, can you? I'm just messing.
You know how many times I've had to cross draw? Left-handed man in the right-hand world. Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry, guys. I will take care of that. A 113 is on the horizon. Don't pull my card just yet. Yeah, you gotta stop buying folders and get one of those in the fray. Last but not least, I got one more too. How we doing on time? 45. Yeah, we're all right. Don't look at the sheath because it is quite worn and quite beat up. I need to, and I know a guy. I think we know a guy up in Massachusetts that could fix me up on this because it definitely needs a new suit of clothes. But this is the 165 OT, and more affectionately known as is it Deer Slayer or Deer Hunter?
Deer Slayer is the one similar to this, I think. So
it must be the Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter. It's the 165 OT. I can get, well, actually it's this way. Schrade USA 165. Look at that thing, folks. That thing means business right there. Another upswept skinner, huge belly on it. Again, kind of probably overkill for our typical deer around here, but Jimmy Crack Corn, I don't care. It's so cool. Feels so good. I want to put it 2-1 anyway. But got those saw cut Delrin handles, brass guard, and this thing, feel this in hand. That thing's a chunk now.
It is. It's heavy.
That's another one you probably ain't going to want to clean 2 or 3 on.
Look at the width of that stock. That's a brute.
That was a gift. Actually, this was a gift from my guy that where I deer hunt at, Tony Stevens. Shout out to him. This was just sitting in his shed and all, and I'd seen it I don't know how many times or something, and I said something one day, what are you ever going to do with that Schrade? And it didn't look like this. Y'all may say this don't look like much. I did a video on this where I cleaned this up. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it looked rough the way it was sitting over at deer camp.
White, if I remember right.
It looked rough. Now we got all those rivets, brass all cleaned up. Blade as good as I could do with it. But this was a restoration project. And one day, anyway, didn't finish my thought. One day he said, well, just take that thing on out of here. Go and take it. I said, you serious? He goes, yeah, it's been sitting in here for, I don't even know where I got that knife. And he didn't have to tell me twice. We took it to the home, got it in mineral oil, and started scrub-a-dub-dubbing up on it. And, man, this is again, they call this Deer Hunter, 165 Deer Hunter. Somebody tell me in the comments, what's this? I know it's got a pin name or whatever, the 165 OT, Deer Slayer, Deer Hunter, something like that. But God, does this feel good in hand. Look how thick that is.
Yeah.
Real neutral, nice big guard up there. And you do have, if you can see right there, you got to be a little careful because your blade does start right there, but you can come up. If I hold it on camera, you can come up above that blade if you're careful and kind of choke up on it. But this thing is just nostalgic. Look at that old timer badge there, shining there. There, if I can get it in frame, yeah, just a go-getter. It's one I just want to say I've cleaned a deer with. Give me an excuse to try it. But anyway, maybe if I can get 5 this year. It's been a while since I've tagged out. We just don't eat them. We don't, me and Shell, we get 1 or 2 deer, and it's just the 2 of us. That's usually good. If I kill more than that, I'm usually, looking, somebody tells me they need to get a deer, somebody elderly or something can't hunt anymore or something, says, hey, T, if you can get me one, usually that's where if I use a 3rd, 4th, or 5th tag, it's usually something like that because 2 of us will Square me up for you.
We can usually go through about 3 a year at the house. You know,
3.
Of course, you know, I got my kids too, my girls, and which they both hunt. So they usually kill one every year.
And grandboys probably eat on it too.
Yeah,
You got them eating on it?
Yeah. And plus,
That's
I
good,
got a couple
Grandpa.
places that I hunt. The landowners won't let me pay them. I've tried leasing it from them. They won't let me do it. So I usually try to get them some deer meat. And,
Awesome.
so anyway, but
Look who all we got in here. We got 865 Drew's Collector's Edge. How you doing, Drew? Checked out. I think I'm a new sub to your channel, buddy, by the way. Watched a couple of your videos. Come highly recommended. Have you watched Drew yet? Drew's Collector's Edge?
I don't think so.
It's pretty. It's a good watch. 865 Ronald Norwood. We got 32. I think I've seen it up to like 33 or 34. Appreciate y'all guys.
Yeah, sure do.
And
I'll tell you, man, I try to support as many channels as I can, but man, sometimes it gets so busy, I get so far behind on them. So if I go a week or so and I don't comment on the channel, don't get mad at me. I'm trying to support as many people as I can. So,
and I'm don't work. Most of y'all know that I'm medically retired, and I've got as much time. You know, I've got way more time during the week than he does. And man, there's so many channels out there, man. Right. When 10 years ago in this, I bet there wasn't 10, 15 knife channels. Seriously. And it has, I bet there's 250, you know, who knows?
And on a typical day when I get home from work, by the time I get cleaned up, get a bite to eat, get set down, it's an hour and a half before it's bedtime. So it's hard to stay caught up, but like I said, I try to support as many of them as I can.
I mean, you just can't. Maybe some of y'all are better than I am. Like I say, I got more time than he does, and I can't watch 250 channels, or I wouldn't do anything. But you know, it's just you can't. So I know a lot of people have like a schedule. You know, 2 or 3 days we'll watch these 5 or 6, and you know, come back the next day or so and try to pick up Georgia Adventure. What a big gem drop. I don't name your name. That's just some. I know both of us watch and all, but there's a lot. It's a good problem because, you know, it's a growing thing.
So many good people out there. It's just, you want to support as many of them as you can, and you just get spread so thin. It's just hard to keep up.
So if you happen to watch my channel and you ain't seen me on yours, please don't take it personal. I'll get there. I've always said good content is kind of like cream. It rises. Yeah. So word of mouth gets out there, just like this. You know, I'm using you, Drew. I've heard 2 or 3 people say Drew's Collector's. You know, what's it called here? I don't want to say it wrong.
Collector's Edge.
Drew's Collector's Edge. Yeah, this guy's good. You know what I'm saying? We hear it, and we'll get there.
Right.
So anyway. We're going to try to tie this thing down, and bear with me on this. We are going to do a little devotional here right at the end and kind of tie into these hunting knives. I know when we're going hunting, you got to be prepared. You know, you got like I call it like a little mental checklist or, you know, preparedness. Hey, do I got my shells out? Do I got my hunting boots by the door? Do I got my, you know, if you're bow hunting down here in Arkansas, and it may be still 90 degrees. I got my gallon of scent spray, face mask. Anyway, you make sure you're prepared. You know, you don't go out there just willy-nilly. And honestly, God's word's a lot like that too. We got it. Your preparedness is right here.
Exactly.
This is your guide to that God gives us to be prepared, to stay prepared, and it's tough out there to keep, you know, halfway good testimony. And trust me, folks, some of you, I'm not the one to preach to you because I fail every day.
Yeah, we do
every day. Filthy sinner, saved by grace. But this book right here is kind of like your checklist. You're to stay prepared. And something that I've been blessed with is this challenge coin right here. I show it every morning. And on the back, it kind of has like a little checklist of how a Christian stays prepared, your armor, if you will. And I got a little scripture here that coincides with this. You've probably heard me say those verses. I just recited it, showed this coin, but I want to read them because God's word lays it out there, how to stay prepared and how to keep yourself ready for his coming. And I just want to read that. And I wrote it on a sheet here because that Bible, I won't be squinting on here, so I just wrote it in big text here. But I'm going to be reading from the King James Reference Bible. So if you follow along, you read this later. I'm going to be reading from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 through 17. Verse 11 starts with, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of all the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God." So, folks, we make these little checklists or whatever to be prepared, to make sure we're prepared when we go in the deer woods. We make sure our blades are sharp, make sure that everything is just ready to go out there where everything's perfect when we're in those deer woods. Well, God lays it out right here too. And none of us are perfect, but he lays out the tools to be prepared for this world today. And it's right in here. And you just got to get in there and you got to search it and you got to try to live it as best you can on the day to day. But he gives the diagram. He gives the plan right here. So I know Lefty probably wants to add on or tag on a little bit something to that.
Well, one thing I wanted just to point out is just looking at your list you got there, and we don't have to go over it, but just looking at your list of what you got wrote out there, the things that we carry as prepared to go on a hunt. He just mentioned his scent spray, or if you're in South Arkansas, you better have a can of off, or you better have a thermocell. Something like that. Your knife, if it's cold weather, you want some fire making material or something to get a fire started with. Maybe a map. We don't really have to have one around here. I mean, it's so populated, but I know some of those guys that hunt mountains and stuff like that, you want to have a map or a GPS or something like that, which I have had to use a GPS before. But and then your weapon. So just thinking about that entire list we just mentioned, everything we mentioned is for your protection, other than that one thing. It's your support and your protection. Right. Except for that one thing, and that's your weapon. Looking at the armor of God, I mean, he just read it. What is it? The belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness,
shield of faith.
Yeah, shod your feet with the gospel of peace. The helmet of salvation. There for your support and your protection. He only gave you one weapon.
That's right.
So think about that, and if you think about what is the truth? It's knowing God's word. Jesus is the truth.
That's right.
The breastplate of righteousness. There's no righteousness in us. Jesus is righteous.
Sword of the Spirit. That's right.
the breastplate, and then it goes to shod your feet for the gospel of peace. Preparation of the gospel of peace. That's being able to spread God's word.
Which we're commanded to do.
Right. We're commissioned to do that as a Christian. Don't do it
Like I should, for sure.
And then when none of us do, I mean, we all miss opportunities to do that. And then you go to what's next? What we just called
Shield of faith.
The shield of faith. Where is our faith? In Jesus. The helmet of salvation. The only place we find salvation is in Jesus. And our sword, the word of God.
It's right here. Your checklist, whatever you want to call it, your preparation guide for the Christian walk is right here. None no better.
That's right. And if you think about it, it all goes back to the Word. It all goes back to Jesus. Jesus is the Word.
That's right.
It said the Word was with God. God was the Word, and the Word was with God. In the beginning, the Word was with God. And the Word was God. Jesus is the Word. So you may ask, where do we find this armor? Where can we get this? Look no further than Jesus.
He lays it all out. He lays it all out for us. He's got a plan.
That's right.
Again, Ephesians 6:11 through 17. That's what's on these challenge coins. And it really was a good read. And it's pretty inspiring. Like I say, we make sure we're prepared when we're going to drive long distance or whatever. We make sure we're prepared. We have these mental checklists for everything else. But are you prepared? You prepared for this world and the wicked of this world? And this book right here tells you how to get there.
And there is so much. You could go so deep into that in the study of the armor of God. I mean, and I'd like to do that sometime. When I get time, I'm going to do that. I'm going to dive into the belt of truth, and I'm going to dive into the shield of faith, and it'd just be a good study to do. And because I'm telling you, we just kind of scratched the surface right here tonight. Man, you can get so deep into that.
Each one of these bullet points, each one of these is its own, can be taken so far. We just scratched the surface tonight.
We can spend a whole hour on just the belt of truth. I mean, it's just, yeah.
But look no further. There's one place to find it all. It's in God's Word. You just got to get in there and search it. And like I say, you make sure you're prepared. It's not before the hunt. You're going to make sure you're prepared. You're going to think of, I know me, I've got up at 11:30 at night. Doggone it! Did I charge my flashlight? I'm gonna be walking. Do I got my headlamp? But
you could make a hunt without all that stuff, and you might be successful. But the one time that you don't have it, you're gonna need it. So, and it's the same way with the armor of God. Which one of those would you choose not to have if you're going into battle? You won't be victorious without any. If you leave any of it behind, you won't be victorious. And that's why they call it the full armor. I mean, we got our armor up, and if you want the full armor of God, you got to get with Jesus. That's right. That's where it's at. That is a picture of Jesus.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Well, we about ready to wrap this up?
I think so. I about done all I got.
All the damage we can do.
Yeah.
Went over my hour, but that's okay. Thank you. 30 people still in here. Charlie Cook.
Yeah, hey Charlie.
Kodiak Edge. How you doing, sir? Don't want to leave out anybody. Mark Gallagher, man, we appreciate each and every one of you. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all saw some cool deer hunting tools, and more importantly, hope y'all just reflect back on staying prepared.
All right.
So I ain't got anything else. You got anything?
No.
Thank y'all guys so much.
We do appreciate everybody that was in here with us tonight.
Absolutely, 100%. We're
Yeah,
small
folks.
channels and growing just like the rest of you. Nothing, we ain't nothing special, and we don't try to be. So, but we appreciate. I know I do appreciate. I know he does too.
Yeah.
We appreciate the support. Y'all could have been doing a lot of things. It's dinner 30 right now, and y'all are in here with us, so that means a lot to us.
Yeah, it does. Appreciate everybody that's hanging out with us tonight, and especially the yo's. Though most everybody's hung around.
I do got.
Most everybody's hung around for the word.
I do got one thing else to say.
Go ahead.
Imagine that, huh? Brother Rex Weissman. I don't know if I've seen him in here tonight. Did you get that report that the nurse came? We have been praying for Brother Rex for some healing. He had a wound that was not doing, was kind of a booger bear on the bottom of his foot, was giving him a lot of problems. He had been bedridden. I know he hadn't been as, knew something was going on before he even, before I even found out about it, because he wasn't as active as he normally is. But anyway, we've been praying for that foot of his, for him to rise up out of that bed, and said that the nurse came today and it is on the mend. It is looking a lot better, and that is a praise report right there, folks. So, because I definitely want to see him. Some codger here ain't going in November.
Deer season.
His birthday. But anyway, where I'm going with it, I definitely want to wrap my arms and get a hearty handshake from Brother Rex.
Mo showed up.
Kirby Creek.
Hey, Mo.
Man, better late than never. Don, how you doing? I didn't see Don earlier in there.
Been here.
Has he been in through?
Yeah.
Now, we ain't had Miss T in here keeping up with the
It's hard
comments.
to keep eye on all them comments. We do
Anyway.
appreciate everybody.
Anyway, praise report, Brother Rex. Nurse gave him a good report today, and seems like he is trending up, and we praise that. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up.
That's it for me. I'm done.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming. God bless. We'll see y'all later.